They don't tell you how quiet disrespect can be. Not loud, not dramatic, just that low hum in the air when you realize someone has already decided who you are before you've said a single word. And that's how this whole thing started, with a calm morning, a courthouse that looked almost peaceful, and one man leaning against a door like he owned the building and maybe the people inside it too. I remember thinking it was a nice morning, which sounds ridiculous now, but the sky was soft streets, mostly empty. And I had that feeling you get when something important is about to happen. Not excitement exactly, more like focus, like everything I'd done up to that point had led me right there. I was dressed simply navy blazer, white blouse, flat shoes, nothing flashy, nothing that said power out loud, because I learned a long time ago that sometimes looking unremarkable keeps you safer. You know what I mean? I had my documents in my bag, neat, organized, checked 3 times, and I'd planned the timing carefully because when you look like me, mistakes don't just get corrected, they get punished. The east entrance was supposed to be quiet, and it was except for him. Big guy, wide shoulders, thick arms, uniform pulled tight, chewing a toothpick like he was bored and daring someone to interrupt him. He didn't straighten when he saw me, didn't say good morning, just watched me walk up like I was a commercial break in his day. I stopped a few feet away and said, calm, polite, "Good morning, I have authorization to enter early." He laughed. Not a full laugh, just a short sound like I'd said something cute. "Building's closed till 8. His eyes dragged over me, shoes to face, slow, deliberate. "You can wait." And right there, that was the moment the one people talk about later. Like, why didn't you push back? Why didn't you argue? But what they don't get is sometimes compliance is a choice, not surrender. I nodded once and walked to the stone bench across the plaza. Sat down, pulled out my phone and waited, because patience can be a weapon if you know how to use it. I watched him stop paying attention to me, almost immediately watched staff start to arrive, watched the minutes tick by, and I thought, okay, this is fine. We're still on track. At 8:05, the main doors unlocked. I stood, straightened my blazer, and went inside. A younger officer stopped me. This time polite but guarded, the kind of polite that still keeps you out. "Are you here for a hearing?" I said, "No official business." His face brightened like he'd figured it out. "Defendants check in downstairs." 2 men in suits walked past us without a word, confident, unquestioned. A woman in jeans and a hoodie got waved through with a temporary badge. Me, still standing there explaining. I adjusted, kept my voice steady, said I had a 9 o'clock proceeding. That's when the clerk appeared. Hair pulled, tight, glasses on a chain, authority in every step. "What's the issue?" I told her the same thing. She didn't ask for my paperwork. She smiled, thin and sharp. "If you were supposed to be here, we'd know." I glanced at the camera in the corner, red light, steady, recording everything. "Understood," I said, and walked back outside. By the time I came back in, the building was alive, voices, footsteps, metal detectors chirping. I spotted the person I was actually supposed to meet standing near the elevators with a folder in her hands, and I felt this wave of relief, like finally, there you are. I took maybe 3 steps toward her before a hand closed around my elbow. Same guy from earlier, toothpick gone, smile still there but colder. "Didn't I tell you to check in downstairs? I said I was meeting someone." His grip tightened just enough to make the point. "Who?" I said her name. He didn't look at her. He looked at me. "Anybody can say a name," he said softly. And then he steered me not toward the elevator, not toward the open hallway, but toward the stairwell, the one place in the building without cameras, which I knew because I check everything. The door closed behind us, echoing concrete walls, colder air. Another officer joined us, younger, nervous. They asked for ID, searched my bag. My wallet found the access card, just a name and a barcode. "Where'd you get this?" I said. "The administrative office." The older one took it and slipped it into his pocket like it belonged there. "We'll test it later." Then the cuffs came out, plastic tight. Too tight. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I breathed slow, steady, because panic is what they expect and calm makes them uncomfortable. They took me upstairs to an office with no windows, no cameras. The clerk sat behind her desk like a judge without the robe. She said I was trespassing, said there was a witness who claimed I'd been threatening. I asked for details, names, times. She avoided my eyes. Then a man in a suit walked in, legal authority, board confidence. He said they could hold me 48 hours just like that. 2 days. No charges yet, but enough time to ruin everything. That's when it hit me. Not fear exactly, but this heavy sense of loss, like everything I'd worked toward was slipping away because someone decided I didn't belong. I told them I had a court order in my pocket, blue paper, official seal. The older officer pulled it out, barely looked, crumpled it in his fist, tossed it on the floor. "Fake," he said. And that's when the room shifted, because another man picked it up, smoothed it out, read it, and his face changed completely. He handed it to the clerk. She read it, then read it again. "This is a mistake," she said. I shook my head. "No," I said quietly. "It's not." And then the older officer snapped. I saw his hand move before I felt it open, palm fast, the sound sharp and ugly. My glasses hit the wall, my mouth filled with that metallic taste. For a few seconds, nobody moved. I touched my lip, saw the blood on my fingers. When I spoke, my voice surprised even me, flat, precise. I said his name, his badge number, the time the witnesses in the room. I told him he had 15 seconds to remove the cuffs before I added unlawful restraint to the charges I'd be filing. He laughed. "Yeah, that happened." He shouldn't have. The younger officer cut the cuffs, hands shaking. Phones came out, calls were made, and when the chief judge's voice came through the speaker, the air changed completely. "You detained who?" Silence. "She was scheduled to be sworn in this morning." Those words landed like a weight. They escorted me down the hall, people staring, whispering the man who hit me. Walking behind, smaller, now hunted. In the courtroom, everything was suddenly very public. Questions, answers, no hiding. He admitted he struck me. The judge didn't hesitate. Suspended, badge and weapon. Metal hit wood. Final. I was sworn in with bruises still forming on my wrists, blood still dried at the corner of my mouth. I took the bench without smiling, and then I did something else. I documented everything, times, logs, cameras, policies, brick by brick, because this wasn't about revenge, it was about record. After that day, the story didn't stop. Investigations opened, patterns emerged, complaints that had been buried came to light, reforms were announced, cameras installed, training mandated. People called me brave, strong, a symbol. I hate that word. Symbols don't feel pain. People do. I went back to work the next morning, same routine, same robe, same responsibility, because the point wasn't to be remembered. It was to make sure the next person doesn't have to be this calm to survive. So here's my question to you. Was this justice or just a rare moment where the right person had the right power at the right time? How many times does this happen when no one's watching, when there's no paper to read, no title to reveal? Tell me what you think. Tell me where you've seen assumptions turn into abuse and what real accountability should look like. Drop your thoughts below. Argue with me if you want, share your own story, because if this made you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is where change starts.